Hello everyone and welcome to my review of Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead was developed and published by Valve and is available on the Xbox 360 PC and Mac, and I'm reviewing the Xbox 360 version. Left 4 Dead is set in a post-apocalyptic America. There's been a huge virus outbreak which has turned normal people into ravenous zombie-like creatures called the Infected. These wander around the map, being a general pain in the backside, as you can see here. They either just wander or they come charging towards you. Either way, you don't want to get surrounded by these guys, because although they're relatively easy to shoot and take down, when you get a lot of them surrounding you, they can take away a huge amount of health. In addition to the Infected running around the map, is what creatures called the Special Infected. These are the Boomer, which is a huge fat guy who runs around spewing bile on you, and also if you get too close when you shoot the guy, he can spew this vile bile all over your teammates. This doesn't cause any damage so much in itself, but what it does is it attracts the Horde, and the Horde is a huge number of the Infected that just come charging towards you. These will surround you and take a huge amount of health off you if you're not careful. So it's best to avoid the Boomer at all costs, and certainly shoot him at long distance. There's the Hunter, and the Hunter is one of the biggest pains in the game. He's a Special Infected that can leap huge distances, and when he lands on you, as you're about to see here, he starts tearing a huge amount of health out of you. And the only way you can get the Hunter off you is if one of your teammates kills him. Aside from that, he'll just stay on you and take all your energy. The next Special Infected is a Smoker. Now the Smoker is perfect at splitting up a party of people working together, because usually smokers are found on top of buildings and they fire out this super long tongue which wraps around you and they just drag you away from the party. These guys really can get annoying in the game, because especially when you're trying to defend yourself from a huge amount of zombies attacking you, because if you've got a good organised party going together, they can just get one of you, drag you away and just leave you dangling there, and usually, especially if it's near the end of a level, you just end up being killed, because it's very difficult for people to come and rescue you. The only way of being rescued from the Smoker is by actually killing him, but by then you tend to be stuck halfway across the map, surrounded by the Infected. The next Special Infected is the Witch. Now the Witch doesn't really do a lot in herself, she just tends to lie on the floor crying to herself, but if you should disturb her, she will come charging like something not right towards the person that disturbed her. She'll knock that person to the floor with one hit and start just clawing at you, taking away huge amounts of health. So it's best not to disturb the Witch, or if you do disturb the Witch, make sure you have a high powered shotgun and use it many times on her. The last of the Special Infected, but by no means the least, is the Tank. Now the Tank is not unstoppable, but he's huge, as you're about to see here, and he takes quite a considerable amount of hits. Now I'm playing this game on easy just so I could get through the game rapidly enough to do this review with, but the Tank really does take a number of hits, and he hits you like that, just sends you flying across the map. And like I say, this is in easy mode, but believe me, in normal mode he takes a huge number of hits, and on anything like the higher difficulty levels, it's just best to throw a Molotov cocktail and run away, leaving him on fire, because he can be nigh on indestructible, and certainly within the confined environments that you are within the game, you don't want to be taken for a ride by the Tank, because he will just absolutely devastate you. Now you can play as one of 4 survivors, and the survivors are Francis, Zoe, Bill and Louis. And as I say, you can play as one of 4 of those survivors. Now there's different game modes. There's the co-op campaign, which is online, which is what most people will probably play, and this is just awesome fun, because no matter how much you think you're good at this game, every time you play it, it changes. There's an AI director that changes how the game plays, so it's never the same. Each time you play through it, there's weapons in different places, zombies in different places. The number of infected can vary as well from level to level. I mean, special infected, should I say, can vary from level to level. And again, the placement of them changes as well, so it's very difficult to build up any sort of tactic at all, simply because it just changes, and the AI director is working all the time, so it's not like it just varies when you first load up the game. It actually changes as you play in the game, so it has this fluid dynamic that's going on all the time. Now, in both the co-op campaign and single player, the objective is to get to the end of each level and get into a safe room, and this ends each level within each campaign. At the end of each campaign, you have a standoff moment like you see in here. Now, the objective here is to survive wave after wave of infected in order to get to a rescue vehicle which is on its way. Now, this is furtherly complicated by the fact that not only is it just the infected horde that's coming at you, you also have the special infected as well, such as the tanks, hunters, smokers. In fact, the only thing you don't tend to get is a witch, because she would actually be fairly useless. But it really is a tough challenge. On the higher difficulty levels, this is so frenetic and sometimes nigh on impossible. It defies belief. You also have various weapons to choose from as well. You start the game with a pistol, which is not totally useless. In fact, the pistol should really be your main staple weapon when you're just dealing with the horde zombies, and you only really need to deal or use the more special weapons such as the Uzi, the machine guns, the high-powered shotguns, and so on and so forth when you're dealing with an overwhelming number of the hordes. Now, the game has 4 different play modes out of the box. Sorry, levels out of the box. It's Mercy Hospital, Death Toll, Dead Air, and Blood Harvest, and these are presented as a sort of zombie film, as it were. There's also DLC that came out, which was Crash Course, which was set between No Mercy and Death Toll. And as I say, each one plays like its own individual movie, like you're watching a series of movies with these guys in each of the films trying to get to safety. Along the way, you can pick up additional items such as health packs, which, believe me, you will need, pain pills which give you a temporary boost should your health be running low, because the lower your health runs, the slower you move. So the pain pills become really useful to boost you if you haven't got a health pack. And believe me, trying to run away from zombies when you've got low health is not the best idea in the world. You definitely will not last that long at all. You also can pick up Molotov cocktails and pipe bombs. Now, the Molotovs are really useful against tanks on the higher difficulty level, because providing you're a good enough shot with a Molotov, you can douse the tank in flames, and then you can run away from it, and you'll constantly be taking hits with the Molotovs. The pipe bombs are really useful for taking out vast amounts of the horde, because they're attracted to the sound of the pipe bomb. You also can get gas canisters, such as this, which you can use to blow up, and that'll take out quite a few of the infected, and also fuel cans, which act as the Molotovs do in terms of setting fire to huge swaths of the infected, should you time it right. Each level tends to have what I call a bottleneck point, which is where you have to do a certain task whilst there's loads of the horde coming at you, so it really does ramp up the tension. In the online as well as the co-op, there's Versus and Survival. Versus is just a straightforward deathmatch type of game whereby some people play survivors, the others play infected, and Survival is having to last as long as you can against the continuous horde and special infected attacks while you're in a certain level within a certain time frame. Overall, this is one of my favourite games of all time. You can keep playing this over and over again, and you know, in the time that I was doing the review for this game, it still felt fresh, even though it's, you know, I think 3 years old now, and I've played it to death before. Each time you play it, it still feels good, and it's just because of the AI director and the way that the game plays so fluidly, so easily. It really is a good game and well worth buying. I know the sequel's out now, but it doesn't stop this one being well worth a look. It comes very highly recommended. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.